What is going on, Built by Bai team? Thank you for checking out this week's Bendy with Bai stretch class. Guys, this is going to be a really good one because we've been at these classes for a couple months now, and now I want us to test. We're going to have an assessment. It's time to check in, see how well we're moving, and make sure that we're progressing in the way we want to go. So today is going to be a full body stretch class assessment. I'm so excited. Make sure that you're ready within your space, and let's get started. Alrighty, team, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and start off upper body, work our way down. And so the first one that I'm wanting to check us out is going to be our neck. This is going to really play a big role into our posture and making sure that we are standing up nice and tall. If we sit at a desk or if we're hunched over throughout our day, it can really impact our neck. And I know when we have neck pain, it can lead to headaches and all that kind of stuff. So I want you to find a comfortable position. Maybe it's sitting crisscross applesauce. Maybe it's on your knees. Maybe it's standing up. But again, I want us to hold good posture within our back. We're going to make sure that we're sitting up nice and tall. And I'm going to go at this side so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. But what we're going to do is see how well we're moving within our neck. So we're going to go ahead. You're going to jut your head forward a little bit and you can bring your chin down. But then we're going to go into giving ourselves almost like a little bit of a double chin. I don't want us to like look up as we pull back, but we're just working on this plane of motion of putting our nose forward. Chin can drop a little bit on this one, but as we pull that head back, we want all of that motion to be coming from our neck and our trap. So send that neck forward. Good. And pull back, giving yourself a little bit of a double chin. This is just kind of what it is. I want to see how well we're moving here. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and do 5 more here. Pull that neck back. And again, making sure that you're holding good posture, sitting up nice and tall. I always close my eyes during these stretch classes. But again, pull that chin back. Make sure we're not tipping up to get that neck back. We want that motion coming from here. Good. Go 2 more, I'm thinking. Good. Jut forward. And then last one, pulling back. Make this your biggest double chin. I'm even like talking a little bit weird. Beautiful. Okay, kind of pay attention to that. We want to work on increasing our range of motion, but we want to make sure that we are keeping a healthy art or a healthy, what word am I thinking of? Excuse me. But we want to make sure that we're keeping our neck in a really neutral position, that we don't like hunch over, hunch forward, start turning into a candy cane, because that's not what we're about. But then same thing, we're going to be in this, you can sit, you can stand, kind of whatever's more comfortable for you. This next one I'm going to show you from more of a standing position. We're going to work on our chest and our shoulders. So same thing, we're going to mimic kind of what bad posture would look like. You're going to pinch pinch your shoulders together in front of you, and then we're going to go to a proud gym bro, pulling out your chest, sticking it out nice and proud, and opening up. Good. You're going to be activating your shoulder blades to pull them back within this one. And then same thing. Let's go ahead and just go through a cycle, round through that back. You can even get your like neck involved in this one. Shoulders back, opening up nice and tall. Stick that chest out as we are going through this assessment. Rounding through. You can also mimic this within your breathing of you're going to inhale when you close up, exhale on the open. Nice and open on those shoulders. Let's go ahead and do 5 more. Pinch together, round through those shoulders. Get a nice little stretch on your back. Activate the back as we're stretching out the chest now. Because a lot of the times our back pain, again, if you guys have been doing these classes for a while, you know that back pain doesn't typically stem from our back. It typically stems from these other things of having shortened chest muscles because we're sitting at a desk all day, or we're not holding the best posture. So this is a really good one to make sure we're activating these muscles that play a role into how well our posture is. Let's go ahead and do 2 more because you guys know I'm awful at counting. Pull those shoulders nice and open. It doesn't matter too much what you do with your hands, but last one, best one, try to close off, get a good stretch throughout the back, open up, stick that chest out. Oh, beautiful. Okay, I know I've already got some good blood flow going on in the area, so we're feeling great. Next, we're going to take it down to the floor or bench, mat, wherever you're on. You're going to go all the way to your back here, and we're going to do some lumbar twist here. So I want you to make sure you're keeping your shoulders flat on the bench for now. You might need to come at an angle with your hips, but you're just going to take that knee and let it open up this way. Pay attention to where you're feeling this specific muscle stretch. I know for me, you guys, the Built by Bay leg day this week is brutal, so be prepared for some sore booty for sure, because I know I'm feeling it there. But again, low back on this one. Torso twists and lumbar twists are really good because it's not something we get a lot through our day-to-day. You can use this right hand to pull that left leg, and just again, check in with yourself and see where you're feeling that the most. We're not really going to move through this one too much. Again, we want to make sure that that shoulder is staying more flat. So maybe we're in a position like this and that's like as much as we can handle. That's okay. We're going to start doing these mobility assessments more frequently to see how well we're progressing. So it wouldn't be bad. Set up a phone, set up a camera, have somebody take a picture of you and test where you're at going forward, so that again, you make sure that you're incorporating flexibility and mobility enough into your plan to keep you moving forward. Beautiful. I'm going to show you on the same side. Again, keeping that shoulder nice and flat. You might need to angle your hips a little bit. Left leg's going to go straight. That knee's going to stay bent, and we are going to open up and see how far we can get on this other side. Make sure we're not clenching and holding tight. Let it go. Let it relax. Let gravity do its thing. Now for me, I'm noticing a lot more tightness within my back on this one, so I need to wiggle through it, but big deep breaths to make sure that we're staying in control of our nervous system. Because sometimes as we're stretching, our body likes to protect ourselves, go into practice those protection mechanisms so that we don't go too far, but our body actually needs it. Again, if you're experiencing pain, we might need to play around with it. You can always take videos, take pictures, and send them to me so that I can give you some proper feedback, and just so how it would feel better for you. Go ahead and give me 2 more big breaths here. Again, this is a hard one where we're twisting, so try to get as much air into your lungs on this one. Big inhale. In through your nose. Then let it go. Oh, that one feels so good. Next, we're going to go ahead. We worked on neck, chest, shoulders, even back a little bit with that twist. Now we're going to work into our hips. So we're going to check out how our hip rotation is, starting with our piriformis. So let's cross that right ankle over our left leg that's bent. And if you need to give it a little push here, you can. We're not going to pull that leg into us this time. But again, I just want us to see where we're holding a lot of that tightness. For me, it's this area that is pretty dang tight. Good. But maybe you're here. We want to work on getting that shin perpendicular with our body. So if you need to apply some pressure, sorry team, I just got a call and I wanted to make sure it didn't stop the video. Back to it, make sure we're still stretching out that right piriformis. But if you need to apply some pressure there, big deep breaths, and just pay attention to where you're feeling it, where you're angled. Again, we're here, that's okay if we're feeling a stretch, but push into that knee, and we want to work on getting more open with this hip rotation. Beautiful. Go ahead and place that leg down. Let's work that left leg. I know for me, I already have a lot more tightness on this side. So crossing that right, we're bending our right leg, cross your left ankle over your right knee, and then push on that knee. Anywhere you're clenching, make sure you let it go, just so that we can see more proper results. Because if we're activating or clenching too much, you might run into some pinching, cramping, that kind of thing. And that's no fun. Holds us back from our flexibility and mobility goals. So just push on that knee for a second, get nice and open. And again, this is another one that we typically aren't sitting in positions like this. We might cross over one leg more than the other. I know I crossed my right leg over my left more, so it didn't feel as tight, but my left side's been a little neglected, so we got to work on it. Not as bad as it was a few months ago. If you guys remember, there was like a really funny stretch class that I wrecked myself on stretching my piriformis. So we have improved tremendously since then, and that's why I want to start incorporating these mobility classes into our routine here. Give me 2 more big breaths. Remember, lots of oxygen. Let it go. 1 more inhale. and let it go. Beautiful. So now we're going to work the opposite way on rotation. So you're going to have your leg at a 90-degree angle here within your hip. And what we're going to do is I don't want us to twist open like that way. We're just going to keep our leg in line with our hip. And then you're going to move that foot here to the side. And again, it might be a little shaky here. This is a really uncomfortable position. This is really good for that 90-90 stretch, but just kind of see where that this is feeling the most intense for you. You can see my legs wobbling a little bit, and it's showing that I have some instability in this position, which is why I've personally been working on it within my stretching and flexibility goals. Come back to center, shake it out. Let's go into it one more time. Open up that leg. We'll hold for 3, 2, 1, and relax. Send it out, and maybe we just wiggle around a little bit. But again, go ahead and bend this leg, planting our right foot into the bench, making sure that we're at a 90-degree angle within our left leg. And again, the only movement, we're not twisting too much that way. We're just sending our foot more to the left to get that rotation within our hip. And I want you to kind of judge, like, which one feels harder, which one feels a little bit more weak. This is something that we need to make sure that we're stretching out. My stretch workout was trying to cut me off. But this is one that we need to make sure that we're stretching and strengthening at the same time. So again, hold it, hold it. You might have some cramping, pinching going on. We're not going to hold into this one too long. If you can see, I am definitely more unstable on this one. Good. Shake it out for a second. Maybe some windshield wipers. Back into it one more time. We'll do a good 5-second hold here. Twisting open. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Whew. Shake it out, team. That one was a little bit brutal, but we're going to go ahead and lay on our back. We're going to check how well we're doing within squeezing this leg up into our body. Hello, hello. You're good. I'm just doing a stretch class. We're going to go ahead and hug this knee up into our body. See how well we're moving. This one is going to stretch out our glute and maybe even our low back a little bit. So let's pull that right leg into our body and take in some big deep breaths. I'm telling you guys, that workout in the program this week is a little brutal, so you should be feeling some good stretching within this one. Something that's also really common is if we have tight hip flexors within this position, the leg that's straight might even get some stretching going on. So again, this is just kind of like a self-awareness class to kind of pay attention to where all of our restriction is. Squeeze it a little tighter into you. Give me 2 more big breaths. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Beautiful. Send that leg out. We're going to pull that left leg into our body. And just, again, paying attention to which side felt a little bit more tense, more sore, more restricted. Does it feel the same on both sides? That's great. Then our body's working together. But really common, we're going to have one side that's tighter, especially if we've ran into injuries or we have pain, leads to compensations. And so it's really important to make sure we're being mindful about where we're feeling the stretch and where it's more intense to make sure we're giving these areas the appropriate attention that they're kind of needing. So for me personally, like I said, hip flexors might flare up on this one. Pulling my knee into me, it's kind of bugging my hip flexor on this side. So it just means I need a little bit more work in that area. But that's what this class is for, is just bringing our awareness to it. Good. Give me 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Shake it out a little bit. We're going to work our way onto our stomach and do some prone leg extensions in this position to see how well we're activating our muscles on this other side. I don't want us up on our elbows on this one. I want you can just lay on your hands, lay in flat. You can be in this position. Let's go ahead and start on our left leg here. What we're going to do is extend it back behind us to see how high we can lift that leg away from the ground, away from us. And we're going to do some cycles on this one. So Again, squeezing that glute, lifting that leg up. Give me a good little hold for 3, 2, 1. Relax. Good. Go ahead and go into the next one. Bad time to do all my stretch classes. I'm getting all the calls, so we'll see how that all works out. Let's go ahead and do one more hold on this side. Lifting that leg. We're going to hold this one for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Beautiful. That's a tough one. Kind of a motion that we don't get a lot throughout our day-to-day life. It utilizes muscles that definitely need it, so that's why we're incorporating it. So let's go ahead and work onto that right leg. I can already tell I've got more tightness on this side for myself personally, so go ahead and squeeze that glute, lift that leg up nice and high. Hold for 3, 2, 1, let it down. This is a good one too because it can also work our back extensors a little bit as well in the process. So good. Lifting up, holding for 3, 2, 1. Let it down. We're going to do 2 more on this side, finishing with that last one with a 5-second hold. Activate, lift up. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take a big deep breath. I know this is a tough one. Big inhale. We're going to do that last one here in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Lift up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And so on that one, if we're struggling to get the same height on both sides, that's a good, another area we'd want to pay attention to. So last one, taking it all the way down to our feet, we're going to check our ankle mobility here. We're going to come into a kneeling position. Again, nothing too intense. We'll be in a straight position here, 90 degrees here with this front foot. Let's go ahead and start on our left side. We're going to send our knee over our toe. We want to make sure we're keeping our heel into the ground, and we don't want any knee cave in on this one. We want to make sure that we can see our big toe on the inside of our leg here. We don't want to pop up on that toe, keeping that heel driven into the bench or the ground, wherever you're doing the stretch class at. We're just going to hold. Maybe right here is tough. Maybe we can't quite get that knee past the toes. It's a really common one that for a long time it was really looked bad to have your knees go past your toes, but it's really important, especially for optimal health. So let's go ahead and hold for about 10 seconds here. Making sure we don't have any knee cave in, that we're keeping that knee over our toes and we can see our big toe from the inside of that leg. One more big breath. Good. Send it back. Let's go ahead and work on this other side. Kneeling, our left leg is going to come out in front of us in a 90-degree position, and we're going to shift our weight forward, making sure that our knee isn't caving in. We can still see that big toe. Heel is being driven into the ground, and we're taking big deep breaths. And just, again, we're trying to bring that like awareness to where we are struggling with restriction, tightness, maybe even cramping, pinching. That's going to show instability within certain joints, and we can work on addressing that. If you ever need some form feedback, or if there's certain areas that you're struggling with, shoot me a message. Take a video of you doing the stretch class. Have somebody snag a couple pictures of you, and I can give you proper cues to make sure that we're progressing you where you want to go. Give me 3 more big breaths here. Last one, biggest one, making sure we're holding good posture here. Beautiful. Okay. Thank you guys so much for doing this stretch class with me. This is something that we're going to start incorporating a little bit more consistently for these mobility assessments to, again, make sure that we're actually seeing progress, because we're not here to check a box. We want to see progress and results from the hard work that we're putting in. But I'm grateful for you guys. Let's make it a great week, and I will see you on next week's stretch class.